Summit. So my name is Rafiat, and I am going to be your moderator for today's program. It's truly a pleasure to have you all joining us today. Before we begin, I would just like you all to put one word in the chat of how you are feeling today. What's your mood for this event? I would like to know. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very, very excited to be here. I can't wait to learn from our lineup of speakers that we have in this session today. So please do me a favor, input how you're feeling today for this event. Are you excited as I am? Let me know in the comment section. Before we begin fully, I just want to give a quick housekeeping reminders. Please, for the respect of everyone that's here, let's try to keep our microphones muted during the session. Also, feel free to engage in the chat throughout the session. And at the end of the session, we'll be having a live question and answer. So you can start dropping your question in the chat as we go along. Thank you all once again for being here today. To officially begin, I would like to introduce you to Abiola, who will welcome us and acknowledge the theme for today's summit. So let me quickly introduce you to Abiola Olaleye. She's a PMO IT project manager with over 18 years of experience delivering complex multi-million dollar initiatives across IT, healthcare, finance, engineering, marketing, and operations. She began her career in Lagos State, Nigeria as a trainee engineer and the only female employee at a power engineering company. Over time, she has advanced into senior leadership roles, spanning business development, procurement, organizational change, leading multi-millennial initiative and cross-functional programs. Long before formally carrying the project management title. After relocating to Canada with her family in 2021, Abiola rebuilt her professional career from the ground up. Abiola brings to the leadership roles a strong focus on execution, stakeholder collaboration, sound judgment, leading through complexity with clarity and integrity. That's awesome. Our core belief is simple. Growth is always possible, no matter where you are, start, or how many times you have had to begin again. Ladies, kindly welcome me. Kindly join me in welcoming Abiola to give us the themes for today's event and officially welcome us into the event today. Thank you so much. Abiola, the floor is yours.
Thank you so very much, Rafiat. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you are joining us from this beautiful Saturday. I'm very happy to see everybody joining us for this 2026 IW, the International Women's Day Summit. And because today is Saturday, I want to start by saying thank you again, because weekends are very valuable to everyone. It's literally the only time that we have to rest, spend time with family, and also do some other stuff, personal stuff, right? So the fact that you have chosen to spend part of your Saturday here with us means a lot. Before I move forward, I hope I'm not echoing. Is there any feedback? Or the audio is good?
It's okay. On my hand, the audio is good.
Okay. All right, beautiful. Before we go any further, I just want us to do something real quick, right? Because one of the things that I love most about gatherings like this is the realization of just how global this movement is. So let's make this a bit interactive. I want you to type in the chat right now where you are joining us from, your city or your country. Can we just take a moment to do that? Where are you joining us from, beautiful ladies? Beautiful. Montreal, Calgary, Houston, Nigeria, Canada. Absolutely wonderful. You know, this is exactly what the International Women's Day represents, right? Women across borders, continents, experiences coming together to learn, to pour into other women and to support one another. Now, the theme for this year is Give to Gain. And I absolutely love that because when we truly reflect and we take time to look back at where we're coming from, right, and how we got here, we would realize that none of us got here 100% by our own effort, right? So at some point in our journey, we've had someone or many people who encouraged us, gave us access, mentorship, visibility platforms, and so on. And because of that act of giving, we all made progress and we are here today. That is the ripple effect and the energy that we want to replicate here in this room this beautiful day. So here's the important part that I want us to keep at the back of our mind as we listen, because today is not about motivation or inspiration only, right? Those things are good, by the way, okay? But we are here for something more than that. You are going to be getting some instantly actionable insights and strategies that you can take away and begin to work on right away. The amazing women that we have here that are going to be speaking this afternoon, they have built careers, they have led initiatives, they've done a lot, they are creating impact, real impact in their spheres of influence. So they are gonna be sharing practical insights that we can all take away and we can start applying immediately to grow our careers, our businesses, you know. So as we listen today again, I want us to keep one simple question in mind, right, for every one of us. And the question is this: what will I give this year so that we can all gain together? If you are comfortable, you can share that in the chat, okay? And yeah, so Rafiat already spoke about the housekeeping rules. Let us all remain muted throughout this session. And if you have anything to share, feel free to use the chat to share. This could be reflections or questions or key takeaways. Yes, so here's something fun we're also doing today. I see that Yoneli already dropped that in the chat. But as you are hearing those powerful insights during the session, we want to encourage you again to share them live on LinkedIn, okay? And please, as you are sharing, tag the speakers and tag the host so that we can quickly find your post and we can amplify your message. All right. And our team is also going to be tracking those posts and engagements on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and we are going to be celebrating everybody sharing. And, who knows, there might be a surprise gift for the most engaging. And so we are truly giving to gain. Let us keep that in mind and keep an open mind also as we listen. Take note, share generously on every platform. Let us amplify the wisdom coming out of this room, because really that is the easiest way to give so that others can gain and we can all rise together. And with that, it's time to begin fully. And I'm handing over to Rafiat, who is going to be moderating the entire session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Abiola, for that warm welcome and setting the tone for today's event. Guys, can we please give Abiola a virtual round of applause, please? Thank you so much. So, like she said, we have a list of amazing speakers. When I was reading their bio, I was really excited to be here, seriously, because this woman, they are going to take us through how they started and up to where they are today. So we will now move into the first session of the program. Our first speaker today is Funke Baobaku. I'm very sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrongly. I'm very, very sorry. So she's going to be speaking to us on the topic from confidence to influence.
Sorry to come in, Rafiat. She's coming as a second speaker. Come on. we go for Kamal first.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry
No
about that.
problem. Yeah, we're human, it happens.
It's fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to Kamal Prince Sudan. She's going to be speaking to us on women elevating women for collective impact. So, Kamal Prince Sudan is a project management leader and founder of Think Projects Management. She has led programs, built PMOs from the ground up, and helped hundreds of professionals step confidently into project management careers. Her journey, however, is more than titles. As an immigrant who rebuilt her career in a new country while raising a family, she understands what it means to start over and rise stronger. Today, she champions one powerful belief: mentorship matters. Collaboration accelerates growth, but you are the one who must take the step. When women elevate women, we don't just grow individually, we create collective impact. So, ladies, please join me in welcoming Kamal Prince. And can you please hear me? Yeah, please join me in welcoming her here.
Yeah, thank you so much for the kind introduction, Rafiat. I am truly honored to be here with you all today, and I'm wishing you a very Women's Day, happy Women's Day to all the amazing women who are spending their weekend with us, and that's like truly an honor for me to be here. And also thank you to the organizer for creating this space, this platform where, women from different countries, cultures, and industries are coming together to learn from one another. So I'm honored to be here. Thank you. So I'm going to start with a simple question to ask you guys. Can you think of a woman who helped you shape your journey? An advice that they gave you that changed the trajectory of your career? And that woman could be a mentor, a colleague, a teacher, or a friend, or a sister who helped you or believed in you, perhaps even before you believed in yourself. To be honest, for me, one moment comes into my mind when I was just starting my career. I was working hard, doing my job, but I still kept, questioning myself. Am I truly ready for that bigger responsibility? Am I ready to jump into that leadership role? But, one day a female colleague reached out and she said very simple but very powerful thing. She said, like, you are thinking too small about yourself. You are ready for more. And that conversation stayed with me, not because she gave me a promotion, but she gave me a perspective. She saw the potential that I hadn't fully recognized in myself yet. So sometimes that's all it takes. Someone who reminds you that our potential is bigger than our self-doubt. And when I'm reflecting back on our career, and Abiola was also mentioning, like, we have reached to this level in our career not alone. We have been helped, we have been guided by other women in throughout our journey. And when I reflect on my own career, almost at every pivotal point in my journey, there was a woman involved who helped open the door for me, who shared guidance, who encouraged me to take that step I wasn't sure about that I was ready to. And that's exactly why I'm here. I'm here to have kind of that impact for you guys, to inspire you guys to take that action, to be a mentor for you, to guide you, because I do believe when one woman rises, it's inspiring. But when we rise together, that impact multiplies. And that is the true power of women elevating women for collective impact. And that is like for which I'm here to bring that kind of a ripple effect, kind of that impact uh, to you all. And therefore that I would like to share 4 lessons that were like kind of key in shaping my journey. The lesson about how to develop good relationships, how to do networking in fact effectively, how to be confident, and how does mentorship help you guys? And above all, courage. Courage to fight your fears, right? So first thing, the first lesson that I'll share is career grow through relationships. And I will stress upon it, like nobody is like, growing alone in their career. They need help, they need support, right? And that's where the relationships comes in play, the networking comes in play, right? So career grows through relationship, not just through resumes. And throughout my journey, I have mentored many women transitioning into leadership roles or navigating career changes. And I notice one very important pattern is like some people, some women, they will add you to LinkedIn or they will add you on other social media. But the biggest mistake they make is they don't follow up. They don't nurture that relationship, right? So they think like, oh, I added this person, they are in my network. But have you asked, are they truly in your network? Are they like, would they advocate for you in the room you are not in? Do they know about you? Right? So here I'm going to suggest or recommend a practical kind of takeaway is add people to your network, but nurture those relationships. Invest time in talking to them. Stay connected, ask thoughtful questions, share your progress, build those genuine relationships. And I'll share a funny incident with you guys is I got my second job offer through Instagram, and not just by posting on the kids' photograph, but building a real and authentic relationships. Because networking and also the mentorship is not like one-time transaction. You go to a event, you take their contacts, that's it. No, it's a journey. You have to spend time, you have to invest the time in nurturing those relationships so that when time comes, they are there to advocate for you, to open those doors for you, to unlock those opportunities for you. But it's you have to nurture that relationships. And again, like when you are asking for guidance or you are asking for advice, it's not your weakness, but it's a sign of your growth, right? And the second point, I think, key lesson that I always stress upon is do not undersell yourself. Do not. I've seen so many women who are incredibly capable, so much talented and experienced, yet I hear from them, I'm not ready yet. And since I'm a trainer, I get a very that's one of my favorite, personal favorite. I hear is, I'll apply after I get this certification. I'll apply when I get more certifications. Meanwhile, there is someone who is half prepared and they are already applied for that. And and funny enough, like they are already practicing the salary negotiation in their mind. They are at that point, whereas you are there thinking about you, about self-doubting yourself. So in here, I would like to remind you guys, you are probably far more ready than you think you are. And again, you don't have to be 100% ready to apply for the job that you have been thinking, to unlock the opportunity. It could be just 60% ready, and we'll figure out when we figure out the thing along the way, right? So I know it's like, it's easy to say it, but it's like very challenging to accept it and, overcome that fear. So here is like another practical advice that I will give you. And that's very small practice that you can just start doing it today itself. Write down 3 things you accomplish, either at the end of day to day, month, or week. And that doesn't have to be big wins. That could be small ones too. For example, a problem you solved, a challenge you navigated, someone you helped. And again, this is not about bragging, but this is about for you to recognize your own value, your own contribution. Because if we don't acknowledge our contributions, how can we expect others to see that, right? So you have to own your accomplishment. Do not settle for less because your voice matters, your perspective matters, you matter, right? So bring that whole yourself to your work, to the passion the things you are passionate about. So do not ever undersell yourself. And third key lesson I would share is like platform like this. We lift each other. We lift other women's, right? We bring that collective impact through mentorship, through networking, guiding others, right? Because I do believe when one woman succeed, it's a progress. It's inspiring to see those women leading, but one woman, if she mentors 5 others, that's something bigger. It creates the ripple effect. Look at this platform that we have today. I'm seeing like women joining from so many different, across the world they are joining. So this is the ripple effect that I'm talking about. And that ripple would spread not only across teams, it will be through organization, industries, and even to the countries, have a global impact, right? And when I'm talking about creating this impact, a lot of mentorship, I usually get a question is like, I'm not ready to mentor anybody else, right? I do not have that title. I'm not at that position to mentor others. And let me tell you one thing. You do not need a big title to mentor someone. Mentoring someone is like a mentor is someone who brings different perspective, who can show you a wider lens, who can help you or who can help you to navigate some of the challenges, someone who will see beyond your fear, who will challenge you to take that next step. And again, mentorship is not one way. It is like, as with the theme we go with, give to gain, right? It's not like mentee who is getting like benefited. It's the mentor as well who is gaining from this relationship. It's two-way relationship, right? It's a mutual relationship where mentor and mentee help each other, right? And the mentorship doesn't have to be very formal. It could be like reviewing somebody's resume, sharing an honest career advice, making an introduction, and simply encouraging them to take a chance. Because sometime it could be a very simple saying that will say, I see potential in you. You are ready. And those words and those advices, the time that you gave to somebody could change someone's trajectory. And I know that changed mine. I had some very amazing mentors throughout my journey. And that's why I'm also here to like offer mentorship to some of the amazing women over here of this community as well. And a fourth point is, and that I think like that's the most important one. Go back. This is the key. If you master this one, you can achieve anything in your careers. Courage. Courage to overcome your fear. Fear of failing, fear of judgment, fear of being not ready. Believe me, like you won't ever be 100% ready ever in your life. I'm saying it. Because like fear won't disappear overnight. It's the action that you have to take that will help you navigate that fear. The confidence will come later on then, right? So action has to come first. And again, like it's not like I mean, there are a lot of people I have met who still fear, like even if they are on the peak of their careers, they still have that fear. What will happen? And that's okay to have those fears, right? Because then you have to take the action, then only you will gain the confidence among yourself, right? So important is to take that first step, to take that action to overcome your fears, right? And that's when you will see like, okay, you will take the first step and you can figure out the things as you go, because sometimes we all are just figuring out things, sometimes with confidence, sometimes with coffee, and sometimes it's all about the panic. Believe me, it's about panic. And I've been like into the training session, like giving this training business for 4 to 5 years now, but still I have a fear. Before every session I fear, what if I didn't communicate well? What if this happened? What if that happened? And that's okay. We are all still figuring out. But important is for you to take that chance, for you to take that step and overcome that fear. And this is the most important lesson I can give you or share from my journey is take that first step. So To and to summarize, I would say leave you with 4 simple reminders is: 1, do not undersell yourself. Do not settle for less. Build relationships. Seek mentors. They can help you navigate challenges. Lift other women whenever you can. And finally, fight your fear, because courage is not the absence of fear, but courage is saying, I'm going to take that step anyway, right? And at the end, as I'm saying, like, I'm here to offer the mentorship to 2 amazing women who need helps or guidance in navigating their careers, or navigating any career situation in their life, or they are looking to transition into the leadership role. So I'm here to make a collective impact over here. And then I will just say one more important thing over here. That is your journey. It's your journey that you are working towards. Do not compare it to others. Your situation may be very different than others. Your path may be very different. So focus on your dreams, your aspiration, and your passion, what you want from your life, what you want from your career, right? Because if something worked for someone else, may not work for yourself. However, like, if whatever you are passionate about, find a mentor to share or have their guidance on. Because, yeah, mentors may not walk the path for you, but they can help you see the path clearly. They can remove hurdles for you or navigate some of the challenges with you. And that's the power of mentorship over here. So if you like, or you would like to connect with me after this session, join me on LinkedIn or reach out to me. I would more than happy to mentor 2 women this year from this community. And that is my way of giving back to this community, because I have had amazing mentors throughout my life. So I would like to give back to this community. So, but again, remember, not just connecting on the LinkedIn and leaving it over there, but nurture that relationship. Let's connect over chat. Tell me about yourself. Tell me what you bring to the table, right? I would be very happy to support you on that journey. And at the end, I'll just do first one final thing, saying real progress is not about when we climb the ladder alone. It happens when we hold the ladder steady for others to join us, right? And when women elevate women, we just don't build our own careers. We are working towards changing the face of the future. And with that, I'll leave you and wish you a very happy Women's Day. And I hope you go back and fight your fears and take the first step where you have been thinking or thinking about that for long. So take that first step. And thank you so much for listening to me. Looking forward to connect with you later.
It was amazing. It was insightful. Thank you so much, Kamal Praise, for those powerful words. I think the idea of women internationally supporting and uplifting one another is incredibly important. And this your perspective as a reminder us that collective success creates stronger communities and opportunities for everyone. So me personally, I took 2 things away from this year's short talk. The first one is create relationship. Don't just create the relationship, but try as much as possible to nurture it. And also the fact about that confidence comes later, but what you need to start with is the action. So ladies, this is a free call. This is an open call to you all to connect with this amazing woman. If you're not going to take this class, I am ready to take it up. I am ready. I'll just send out my everything on LinkedIn and I'll take this class from you. But I'm not going to do that. But it's really a good opportunity. So let's take this opportunity to connect with this great woman and learn from her experience. You know, it's good when you have someone to hold your hand on your road. It's really, really a good experience. So why for when you have people that have gone through the same path that you want to go through and are ready to actually put you on a smooth journey? Life will be easy. It's not going to be hard for us. So thank you so much, Kamal Prince. I'm sure our participants have some questions, but please bear with me. We are not going to take them now, but right after we have our second speaker, we're going to have a very short session for a quick live and question and answer session. So ladies, are you excited to move on to the next session? Now, I'm going to be having Miss Funke
Biobaku.
Biobaku. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Biobaku. So she's going to be talking to us about from confidence to influence. You remember from Kamal Print's talks just now that she also spoke about confidence. So how do we go from having confidence to influence? So Ms. Funke Biobaku is a chartered professional accountant, technology professional and speaker, passionate about empowering individuals, communities through strategy, education, and leadership. With a unique career journey spanning both finance and technology, she has successfully pivoted from accounting into the tech space while continuing to excel across both industries, demonstrating the power of adaptability, lifelong learning, and international growth. She's the founder of Greencrest, where she works closely with individuals, families, and newcomer communities to simplify complex financial and tax issues in order to help people make confident, informed decisions about their financial future. Funke also serves on the board of STEM Up, STEM Up Foundation, a Toronto-based charity organization dedicated to advancing STEM education by providing mentorship skills, development, and career exposure opportunities for youth and underrepresented communities pursuing careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So join me this afternoon, this evening, this morning to welcome Funke to this amazing summit. Hi, Funke, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you guys hear me too?
So is yours. Yes, we can.
Hi, Rafiat, and thank you so much, everyone. Thanks, Kamal, for your wonderful presentation. It really, when I was told to be the first speaker, I said, you know what, I want to go second. And somehow I just realized that it was actually ordained for me to actually speak after you, because you actually talked about action, then confidence follows. And then I'm taking it from confidence to influence, which would be what I will be running everyone through today. I hope you guys can all hear me though. So if you can't, let me know. All right. So thanks again to the organizers. I really am grateful to be part of this incredible Women's Day Summit. The theme, like I said, for me today is from confidence to influence. And many women today are highly educated, highly skilled, deeply capable. We attend workshops about, confidence. We read books a lot about confidence, and we're encouraged to believe in ourselves. But something interesting happens in many professional and leadership environments. Even when women are confident and competent, they're sometimes overlooked in conversations, in decisions, and opportunities. That gap between being capable and being influential is what we will be exploring for this session. Over the next few minutes, I'll share a few ideas and insights and strategies that can help us move from just believing in ourselves, internally, and actually shaping outcomes externally. So because confidence is very powerful, but trust me, influence itself is transformational. So I'll go into my next slide here, where we talked about confidence is powerful, but really, is it enough? Let me start with this question. Have you ever been in a meeting where, you just shared a great idea you had in your mind, even though you hesitated to share it, right? You're hesitating to share that, or sometimes you've even shared it, or maybe while you shared it, the room just moves on quickly. They're like, okay, and then everyone moves on, right? And later on, someone else said that same thing, and suddenly everyone thought it was very brilliant. Recall, you're all in the same meeting, right? You've just shared the same thing. You said it and everybody just talked. And then next thing, Kamal talked about it and then, woo, the room light up. Everybody's saying, wow, this is brilliant. So experiences like this happen more often than we actually admit. And confidence helps us to believe that, yes, we are capable. But influence itself, right, is external. It affects how others respond to us. It determines whether people listen, respond, and act. Influence is what opens doors to leadership roles, bigger opportunities, and greater impact. So the real goal is not just to have confidence. It's about, having that influence, is learning to translate our confidence into influence. So let's start with what is confidence itself. Like I said earlier, confidence is internal, right? It affects how you feel about yourself. When you're confident and you just have this air around you. I know what I'm doing, right? Nothing is shaking me at this moment. So it's that belief that you have the ability to handle a situation, you learn something new or overcome a challenge. So confidence is built through preparation, experience, and self-awareness. Kamal said something about action, right? You learn all those kind of things through putting in the work yourself, right? It builds your confidence. So every time you solve a problem, you learn a skill, you navigate a challenge, your confidence level grows, right? It allows you to step forward and say, yes, I can do this, right? But confidence alone does not automatically create recognition. It does not create that advancement, or, it doesn't necessarily give you influence. So many people believe that you must 100% feel ready before stepping forward. That happens to me too. So when Kamal mentioned that, I'm like, you know what? We always wait for that 100%. I am very perfect and all that. So there are many brilliant and confident women, and I'm sure we have them in this room, who are doing amazing work quietly in the background. And this brings us to the next concept, which is influence. So let's talk about influence. Influence is external. Confidence, like I said, is internal. Influence is external. Influence is when your voice begins to shape conversations, decisions, and direction, right? It is when your ideas move beyond being heard and begin to guide action. It tells people what to do, how to do it, right? That's when you have influence. So it's about credibility. It's about clarity. It's about trust. Influence is not about dominance or control. It doesn't mean because you're the leader. There's some leaders without influence, right? So you want something that it's when people respect you. They respect your perspective enough that they look to you for your insight. When you're not there, they want to ask, where's this person? What does this person think about this? So that's where that influence is in the room. So while confidence says, I can, influence says, this is the direction we should go. So influence says, we will, right? So it's all together. You're building that community. You're taking that community along with you. Okay, takes us to the next one of why many women stay at confidence. Right. So there are different levels. Action, like Kamal said, and then we're now in confidence. But then some people just get stuck at that confidence. So women get to that stage, we're confident, we know what you know your audience, but you stop there. And there are several reasons. So one of it is the fear of visibility. Sometimes we worry about being judged, criticized, or misunderstood. Another one is perfectionism. Like we said, I want everything to be perfect before I step out, and this happens a lot to women compared to men. I've heard this thing where they say, you can see a man that is 20% ready for a job and he goes for it. Or you see some job opportunities and you're like, oh no, I can't do everything here. Men don't think like that, right? They look at it and then say, oh, I can do 30% of it. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll just go in and wing it. But women, we look at all this job, and this happens a lot to me. Like I said, I look at all these things and I'm like, even though I can do 95%, you see that 5% I can't do, it's giving me grief in my head. And I'm thinking, I don't think I can do this, right? So there's also the habit of waiting for permission. You're waiting to be invited into opportunities, waiting to be invited to the table, right? this is also a cultural issue that I find, especially within, the immigrant group, that, most people they're brought up to be humble, that humility. So you have to kind of wait to be told to come on board. So, and really, many women do excellent work quietly, but the truth is, excellence without visibility often limits opportunities. So influence requires not only doing great work, but also allowing that work to be seen. I will share briefly my own personal turning point. So earlier in my career, I was just focused more on doing excellent work. I built my career as a finance professional, as a CPA, and then I later made the bold decision to pivot into the tech space. The transition required a lot of learning, resilience, confidence, a lot of even doubt, But something I realized along the way is doing great job is not only one part of the professional growth. You have to do more. It's not just about, I can do this work, right? So at a certain point, I had to become intentional about how I position my voice, my expertise, my perspectives. It was an intentional thing. While I was on my job as a finance professional, I started taking up projects that were relating to tech. I started talking to my mentors, who I then later know that they are actually my sponsors, right? At work, there should be one or two people you can quickly talk to. This is what I'm planning to do. This is what I'm doing, and we'll get there as we go on. So I had to move from simply completing tasks to contributing to decisions, making my voice heard. Even if everyone is doing the same thing, I had to look for a way to do mine differently, such that people were, looking forward to seeing my own reports as a finance person. So as a result of this shift, I moved from competence to influence. It opened doors of opportunities for me. At work, my voice was heard. My name was mentioned in rooms, even where I wasn't there, and I would hear people say, "Oh, Funky, we heard that you did this and this and this for these managers. Can you help us teach other people?" Same, like I was teaching my peers how to, do their job or do it better because some other people had liked the way I did. As a result of this, I got new offers on my job. In fact, I got offer on my job. I got another offer in another organization. And guess what? My organization begged me to stay. I did stay, and this was because they saw the value. And I didn't even realize I had that value, right? So they saw the value. They wanted me to stay. I was moved from a level 1 to level 5. That had never happened in my organization. So sometimes, even though you're confident, you need to do more beyond just doing the hard work. You need to start relating to people. Don't hide behind the curtains, okay? So let's go into these 4 levels of growth, right? I like to think about professional growth in 4 levels. 1 is competence, and this is where you learn the skills you need to do the work. We're talking about confidence, believing that, yes, you can actually perform those work. And then credibility is when other people start trusting in you. They start believing in you, and you're quite consistent with it. And finally, the 4th level is influence. Like Ova said, when your voice begins to shape decisions, right? So many professionals spend years between this competence and confidence. Now, as women, we are going beyond this confidence into credibility and influence, okay? And then I'll take us through some strategies, about just 3 or 4 strategies on how we can achieve this influence. 1 would be building visible credibility, right? So influence begins with visible credibility. You need to be seen. Don't hide, right? It means that ensuring that your work, your insights are connected to your voice. For example, when you're working on a project, when you contribute to that project, summarize the outcome, clearly. When you have an insight, share it confidently. It doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, but the more you share it, the more you start believing in yourself, right? So when a project succeeds, acknowledge your contribution. When they say, "Oh, Rafiat, you did this," and you're like, "No, it was Kamal that actually," no, own it. You did it. What's your contribution to this project, right? So this is not about arrogance. It's about clarity. People cannot value what they cannot see. If they don't see you, they don't know you. And that's the way it works in the professional sphere. Strategy 2, speak strategically. So one of the most powerful ways to communicate influence is with facts and storytelling. Use data, stories to build your connection. Frame your ideas around outcomes, right? So when you do something, there should be an outcome. There's an impact to the organization. Even it might even be self-growth, right? Instead of simply describing a problem, offer a solution. Sometimes as women, all we see is just a problem. These days, I find myself, yes, I know there's a problem, but even before I escalate that problem, what solution do you have in mind? What have you thought of? This is very important. So another key shift is language. We need to start replacing certain languages. Like, when you say, I'm not sure, but maybe, start replacing it with, my recommendation is, this is what I suggest, right? This could work. Confidence shares ideas. Influence shapes decisions. Number 3 would be build strategic relationships. I don't think I need to overdwell on this. Kamal has done a great job with that. But basically, it's, you need to start finding sponsors, not mentors. You see, mentors would also help guide you. They would mentor you. They would advise you privately. You see, sponsors, they advocate for you publicly when opportunities arise. When you're not in that room, these are the people that would mention your name. These are the people that would call you. So find those kind of people. Try and impress them. I'm not saying you should, start sucking up to everyone, but you need to strategically position yourself. Trust me, it is strategy. Everyone you see on LinkedIn, sometimes I go on LinkedIn and I know LinkedIn can be very scary. Like, you just see everybody's achievements and all that. Trust me, they're just positioning themselves to do yourself a favor and find yourself a great sponsor, someone that can talk, for you in rooms where you are not there. Be known for something specific. When they say, oh, data and analysis and blah, 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 this person is it. If you need information about how our systems work, go to this person. They just, you need to be known for something. At least one thing. All right. Number 4 would be own your own narrative. I think Kamal also mentioned something about owning, and I think I can't recall, but define your personal brand. Stop shrinking. Don't shrink. Introduce yourself with authority. Share your vision boldly. Don't shrink your accomplishment. These are the things I've achieved. Yes, I did achieve it. You've worked hard to be where you are. You cannot afford to keep downplaying yourself. Women, we need to wake up. This is not the time for us to downplay. In 2026, we need to move on, right? So without, much confidence, strategy, and community, the most powerful influence does not happen alone. When women support each other, when we share opportunities and amplify one another's voices, the impact multiplies. You can't even begin to imagine. See how Kamal has said that, she would like to mentor 2 people. By the way, I'm going to take 1 slot there because I want that as well. So confidence actually gives us the courage to start. Strategy gives us direction. Community gives us strength, right? So together, all these elements help us to create a momentum for lasting change. Finally, let's talk about our next level. I want everyone to pause here just for 30 seconds. Ask yourself, I'm inviting you to reflect. Where do you need to be seen? Write it down somewhere. On your job, your business, where do you need to be seen? Who needs to hear your voice? There are some bosses that even on the job, they don't even know how much work you're doing. When they call your name, do they even know you at all? Do they know you exist? Or are you just there to just collect your bi-weekly salary and move on? So ask yourself, what room must you step in? It may be in your workplace, it may be your business, your community, or even your personal goals. So influence begins with just one decision, and that decision is stepping forward. It's about taking action, okay? And, just to close, as we close today, I want to leave everyone with this thought. Confidence gets you into that room. Influence changes the room. Influence would, help you. It determines what happens when you're in that room. It allows you to shape those decisions that happen in that room. The world needs capable women, but it also needs visible, influential, courageous women. You see, the women we see today, the ones that are really, making all the noises, they have taken that step forward. It's not an easy thing as a woman to do, but we need to do it. So we need to continue building our confidence, step forward with strategy, with clarity, and with purpose. Because when women move from confidence to influence, the impact extends far beyond ourselves. It goes just beyond who you are into, a larger community. Thank you all, and I hope.
Wow. Thank you so much. That was so inspiring. So thank you very much, Funke, for that insightful presentation. Your reflection on moving from confidence to true influence are very, very powerful. And personally, I think it gives me a lot. I think most people is going to agree with me here that it actually gives us a lot to think about, So one thing I really enjoy listening is the statement that if they don't see you, ladies, they actually don't know you. So you need to be seen so that you can be known. You have to be seen so that you can be known. So we've now heard two very inspiring perspective from Kamal Prince and Funke, touching on the importance of women supporting one another and stepping into the position of influences. So now we are going to be moving into a very quick question and answer session. If you have for the both of our speakers, that's Kamalpreet and Funke, then before we move into the second half of the program with our two amazing speakers that are remaining. So please drop your question in the chat and let's see if you have any. Okay, while we are waiting for their question, I think I have some questions for the both of them. So I'm going to start with Kamalpreet. So you mentioned about taking action. So what is one action women can take this month to elevate another woman?
Okay. So on that one, I'll just that was a very good question because we want you to take an action. And I'll go with Funke's advice. Confidence is what I can do. I spoke about a lot of things today, but influence will be if I can motivate even one of you to go back and fight with your fear. Apply for the job that you have been thinking about. Oh, I may not be ready for this. Apply for that role today, now. Go for it. Fight for that. And position yourself that you can do it. You are ready. Even if you're not 100% ready, you are ready. Take that action today. Go and apply for that job. That is the most important action. I would suggest you guys to take it. Take that first step. No matter how much it seems to be scary or whatever it is, we will figure out things on your way. So take that first step. That's the only thing. Take that first step. So fight your fears.
Oh, thank you so much. So I just want you to quickly take this question from our chat. So this person, Jasprit, she said, what is one moment when you step forward, even though you didn't feel ready?
Thank you. That is very, very good question because when I joined KPMG, I was a project coordinator over there. And my manager, my leader, offered me to be the PMO manager. From a coordinator working as an individual contributor, she offered me to manage 5 or 7 other people. I, at that point, was thinking, oh, I'm not ready. I can't do it. I'm not ready yet. And she said, no, you are ready for that. And she's the same woman who said, you are thinking so little about you, but you are ready to take more responsibilities. And to be honest, I was scared, really scared. And I didn't know, am I ready for that? But I trusted her. I trusted her. And I said, okay, I'm going to take that step. I'm going to fight my fear. And believe me, that one step I took, accepted that offer, and rest is a history. I like, as you know, Funke was mentioning earlier as well, like I moved from a project coordinator to manager to senior manager in just 3 years. That is like kind of like that is the one thing that you have to take a step today, and you don't even know, you might surprise yourself, right? You might already have that potential, just you have to take the step and believe in yourself. You are far more ready than you think you are. So yes, that's again, thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that short answer. So I'm going to be asking Funke this. So you said if they don't see you, they don't know you. So how do women move from being heard to being respected?
All right. Sorry, I was on mute. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right.
Loud
How
and
do
clear.
women move from being heard to
To
being
being
respected?
respected.
All right. I would say that honestly, being heard and being respected are not always the same thing. We know that, right? Respect is usually earned. Being heard just means that your voice enters the conversation. Respect happens when your voice consistently brings insights, it consistently brings solutions, to whatever the situation is. So one of the most effective ways to build that is by speaking with preparation and purpose, bringing data, bringing your perspectives or a clear recommendation. I like to use my own personal way of doing things. So prior to now, when you just go for meetings, you just attend. No, don't just attend meetings for the purpose of attending meetings. There's an agenda. What are you guys talking about? Try, even if it means you going on, like trying to get more insight and information as to what you can say or what recommendations you can give. It helps you. It just gives you confidence, value. Even when you're talking, you know that you're talking backed with data. So it's important that you come prepared and with with purpose. Over time, when people see that your contributions consistently add value, respect will naturally just come in. It's a no-brainer. It will come in, but you need to do your own work too.
Thank
And I'll
you.
add to that one is like sometimes we confuse ourselves, like respect comes with authority. So people say, like, okay, if I'm a manager, I might be respected. But I think that's where we make a mistake. It's not about the authority, but it's like how you can influence other, how people trust you if you can do your job or not. Right? So it's not even about authority, it's about what people can trust you on, what they think, like if you are saying something, can you deliver on those things? So that is all about. So thank you, Funke. Yeah, no, that was good perspective.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Funke and Kamal, for your insightful responses.
Thank
So,
you.
our third speaker today is Sumini Mishak Hart, who will be speaking on the topic collaboration and networking as a career strategy. In this session, she's going to be sharing insights on how strategic relationships and meaningful collaboration can serve as powerful tools for career growth and opportunities. So, everyone, meet Tumini No. Tumini is a project management professional with a background in law and a master's degree in psychology, known for leading complex initiatives across construction, operations, and technology. Our work focuses on bringing structure, alignment, and clear decision making to fast moving projects while supporting teams through change. Alongside our corporate career, Tumini uses a voice and platform on LinkedIn to share honest experience about career growth, leadership, and the realities women face at work, creating a space for empowerment, practical learning, and intentional professional development. She is also an experienced event host and MC. Please join me in welcoming Tumini to this session. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, thank you, thank you again. I was going to say that I look forward to the day that I'm not mistaken to be Yoruba, as you said to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really honored. Just like the first two speakers have clearly expressed their excitement, I'm also excited to be here. My name is Tumini, as I have been introduced. I'm from the southern part of Nigeria, born into a family of four. I happen to be the last. When I'm not bringing clarity to chaos, I enjoy putting smiles on people's faces through emceeing events, corporate event, birthdays, etc. So today I'm going to be talking about networking, not just networking, but how you can use it as a powerful tool for your career and the trajectory of your career. So I want to start by saying that I have spent the last 10 years trying to figure out my life. And most of us in this room can relate to that because even though we have lots of degrees, a lot of times we come out still confused. Like I was rightly introduced, I have a bachelor's in law and a master's in psychology, but I was still confused on what to do with my life. In 2020, I moved to the United States, New York to be precise, and because I really didn't know what to do with my life, I took any role that was given to me. I had the opportunity to work as a business development manager with a company, and I had no knowledge of what that role, what that role was. But because I'm this person that whatever my hand finds to do, I do it well. One of the criterias of the role was for me to go to networking events and meet people, get contracts for the company, ensure that we were getting contracts worth millions and millions of dollars. So I went to these events and I didn't know what to do. I would just go, I would see different people, and repeatedly I kept going for this event because it came with a job. One day I sat down, I looked at my left, I looked at my right, I looked at the person presenting in front of me, and I noticed something. I was in a room filled with senators, mayors, directors, CEOs, people who had businesses worth billions of dollars. I had money in, I had amounts of money in a way I never thought it was possible. And one thing clicked in my mind, which was possibility. I understood that even in the midst of being so confused of what I wanted to do with my life, it was possible. All I needed to do was to be in the right room and speak with the right people. And so when I had to leave my amazing job in 2023 and move over to a small city, Winnipeg, very cold one, without a job, I asked myself, what could I do? And so I turned to LinkedIn and I joined a 30-day challenge where I started posting about my career. Because at this time, I was already in the motion of pivoting into project management. But I'm not going to bore you with how I started posting on LinkedIn and how it has helped me. I want to talk about two mistakes I see people make when it comes to networking and mistakes that I have made myself. The first mistake I see a lot of people when it comes to networking, when they go for networking events or when they meet people on LinkedIn as a platform, is going problem first, value second. And I'm going to explain. When you go for a networking event, most of the time people are going because they're looking for a job. Most of the time they go because they're looking for a contract. And so 2 minutes into the conversation with this person, you're already telling the person that you need a job. You're already telling the person your problem, forgetting that even that person who came to that networking event has an agenda. And so the person may indulge you and listen to all your problems, but trust me, they zone out and they will not remember you after that event, even though you take their card. Now, what is the right strategy? When you go for a networking event, people every day hear kind regards. I hope this email meets you well. They hear all the formalities. When they go for networking events, they want to meet with a real person. Go with the mindset of, this is what I can offer. This is my value. So let me give an example. A lot of times people come to my DM, I love your post on LinkedIn. It resonated with me so well. Can I have a coffee chat? I love your post on LinkedIn. Can you mentor me? This is not bad. And I understand where they're coming from, but this strategy will not work Why? Because the people that you want to mentor you, most of the time, they are crunched for time. They don't have enough time for themselves. So when you come to them to spare you their time, you have to tell them that I am good of an investment for you to invest your time. So I'm going to give two examples. Remember the first example I gave of someone just coming to my DM and saying, I want you to mentor me. And let's look at the different angle. Imagine someone comes to my DM. Hi, Tumini. My name is Susan. I am a project manager. I just started. I have been researching on how AI affects project management, and I came across one of your posts, and I really liked how you outline one of the benefits of AI to this to project management. I would love to hear more about your post and your research. Do you mind having a coffee chat with me? If you were this mentor, who would you respond to? Let's put it on the chat. Would you respond to the person that messaged you the first time, or you respond to the person that messaged you the second time? Now, the reason why you would respond to the second person is because three things will stand out to you. Number one, wow, this person is so interested that they went to do their own research. Wow, this person has followed my post, even though that may be the only post the person saw about you. But this person read the entire post, connected it to what they are doing. Me as a mentor, I would say this person would be worth my time. I'm ready to give 15 minutes of my time to mentor this person or have a coffee chat with this person. And so this is why this strategy would always work, because nobody wants a bad investment. I don't want to sit with you, and at the end of the day, I am the one following up with you if you've done the assignments that you've been given. So one mistake that you have to leave this room with when you're networking, either in physical events or on LinkedIn, you have to show your value first. When you meet somebody at a networking event, hi, what's your name? My name is Susan. I am this, I am that. They don't need to know that you're looking for a job. When you tell them, oh, I've built this platform, I am this UX designer, you have caught them in. Because remember, you are one of the 50 million people they may speak to that day. But when you suck them in by telling them, this is my value, the next question they'll ask you is, where are you working? And then you'll be like, oh, right now I'm actually looking for a job. And they're like, oh, my company may not be hiring, but send me your resume. Why? Because you brought your value first. So please, the reason why I am on this point a lot is because we are very eager to say, I need help. But just like the theme of this summit is, you must give to gain. Nobody is Father Christmas. Regardless of how generous a person is with their time, you must show that you're worthy of an investment. The second mistake I see a lot of people make when it comes to networking is you think networking is a sprint. You like Miss Camilla said, you meet somebody, you exchange business card, and you immediately want the fruit that you planted to bear fruit. Is not possible. Everyone in this room knows that most fast food is not good for your health. Why? Because most of the time there are lots of additives, there are lots of added sugar in order for the food to be fast. Anything that brings long-lasting results take time. So when you go into networking, going with the mindset that I'm about to sow a seed, and like Miss Camilla said, I am going to nurture that seed. I'm going to water it. I'm going to give it all the nutrients that it needs, and so it will grow. One strategy that I do is I go to a lot of networking events. I'm a sucker for it at this point. But every time I connect with somebody I am genuinely interested in, I don't let 24 hours pass before I follow up on LinkedIn. Hi, I met you at this event. I really enjoyed our conversation on XYZ. Let's go for a coffee chat sometime, or let's meet up sometime. And I stick. They remember me because number one, I went with value first and not problem. And then now I've moved to the next stage of nurturing. Now, these are the two mistakes. Now, I want to move over to the benefits of networking. Remember, I told you that I stumbled on networking by accident. I always knew that meeting the right people was good, but I really didn't know how much it can change the trajectory of your life. So I want to give you 3 benefits of networking and why you must put it as a strategy, not an option, but the first strategy. Number 1, in order to use networking and collaboration as a good strategy for your career, you must be willing to color outside the lines. You must be comfortable being uncomfortable. Whenever I go for networking events and I see that I'm not uncomfortable the first 10, 15 minutes, every time I reflect, I realize that I'm mostly speaking to people that I have met at other networking events because it's my comfort zone. And I bring myself back up and say, you've met these people already. You're already building a relationship with them. It's time to be uncomfortable. That 5 minutes of awkwardness must always be there because that's the only way you can grow. Discomfort is the price for growth. If you want to grow, you must be willing to be uncomfortable. The people that are coming to speak to you, they are not comfortable. They're not comfortable come say, hi, hello, my name is no, but you must be uncomfortable. So one thing you must speak with networking is color outside the lines. Go out of your comfort zone. If you go for a networking event physically and you notice that you know 10 people there, say hi, hello to them, but meet new people. Meet other people that would help you. That's number 1. Number 2, in order for you to get the benefit of networking and ensure that you continue to use it as a strategy, remember, we said that it's a journey. So it's not something that you start and you stop. You have to, don't seek validation, seek affirmation. And this is specific to being on LinkedIn. God has helped me to be consistent on LinkedIn for a little over 2 years. So I can speak a little bit to not seeking validation. What validation will do is validation will drain you. Validation will make you compare your 6-month journey to a 6-year journey of another person. Validation will not allow you reap the fruits that you have planted. But you need to seek reaffirmation. Why am I on LinkedIn seeking visibility? Why am I going for networking events? For me, when I moved to Canada, I was looking for a job. I had left my good job in New York and I moved to Canada because of a man. Not any man, my husband anyway. I had moved to Canada to join my family and I didn't have a job. And so when I was having 1 likes, 2 likes, it hurts me obviously because I'm human, but I had to reaffirm to Minnie, why are you here? You are here for a job. You are here to understand, what the job market is like. And so that helped me to be consistent. Every day I kept posting, consistent. Now I will move over to what for me, I believe is the highlight of my journey since moving to, from one country to another and trying to build visibility. And this is one thing I want you to take. If it's the only thing you take from my talk today, when it comes to networking, you never, ever know who is watching. You never know who is watching. You think you do, but you don't. Not on LinkedIn, not on physical events. Because when you continue to put out excellence, there are people watching. I'll give a quick example. So for the past 1.5 years, I had been posting on LinkedIn, and because I wasn't getting a lot of traction, I could pinpoint the people who were commenting on my post and liking my post. And so I went for a specific PMI event, and a lady walked up to me, very noble, very modest lady. I said, hey, I think I know you. I see your post on LinkedIn. Wow, it's amazing, etc. We exchanged pleasantries, connect on LinkedIn. She had never liked my post before. She had never commented on my post before, but she was reading my post. She knew who I was. Now, this is where the juice is. Because I was not pretending on LinkedIn to have it all figured out, I had some posts where I talked about my journey and moving from the US to Canada, and I was still in search of a job, sharing my transitioning journey. She, who didn't like or comment on my post, took a snapshot of my face because she was always seeing me on LinkedIn, sent me a random DM one day. Hey, Tumini, I don't know if you're still looking for a job, but there's this opening at a company. I've worked in that company before. It's a good company. Apply. I was like, oh, wow. I applied. The first time it didn't work out, they were doing some restructuring, and then I left it. The job opening came up again. This same person that I didn't know from anywhere, who had never liked my post, had never commented on my post, reached out to me again and say, this position has been opened again. I think you will be a good candidate. In fact, I am going to connect you with somebody who is in the company. Connect with her on LinkedIn, give her your resume. So I did that. I asked, I used my strategy, asked for a coffee chat, and I did that. The person within that company that I didn't know, never spoken to her before, took my resume and passed it on to the director. And the next few days, I got a call, had an interview, and that is the job I'm currently doing right now, up until now, for somebody who I did not know. This is why validation cannot be your driving force. This is why seeking likes and comments cannot be what is pushing you every day. It has to be your why. So now, the last point in networking, I'm wrapping up shortly. The last point with networking and how we can help in your career growth is building a system. Remember, when we talked about it, we said networking is a journey and not a sprint. So in order for you to be consistent, there must be a system. There must be a structure. There is no outstanding result that doesn't come out of structure. So, for example, what's my structure? After I finished my 30-day challenge of posting on LinkedIn, I realized that that was not sustainable for me. I was not going to lie. And so I said, okay, posting 3 times a week is sustainable. Having a specific time that I post is sustainable. Telling myself that I have a minimum of 1 hour or 30 minutes that I spend engaging on other people's posts is sustainable. And so it became my structure. And so every day, even on the days that were not my posting days, I was on LinkedIn, engaging with people, commenting on people's post that really connects with me. I kept going, I kept pushing, and that's what I'm still doing today. Structure. If you want to build a career long lasting on the back of networking, you must have a structure, you must have a system. So I'm going to quickly wrap it up. Remember, we started off with what are the mistakes people make? The first mistake is putting your problem first and your value behind. We want to flip it around and put our value first before our problems. The second thing is networking cannot be a sprint. Are there situations where you meet somebody and boom, you get, a good contact or you get a job? Yes, but that's probably 0.01%. So it's a journey. You nurture it, you grow. Benefits of networking and how you can use it as a career strategy. You color outside the lines, go out of your comfort zone, be uncomfortable, push yourself so that you can grow. The second one is don't seek validation. People are watching. Keep putting in excellence. Keep putting in your time, either on LinkedIn or physical events, whatever it is, put in your best. The third, but not the least, is you must have a structure. Consistency is built on the benchmark of structure. You must have a system. That system would help you when you're not in the mood. There's sometimes I'm not in the mood to post, but because my mindset and my system has been so acclimatized with a structure, I feel discomfort. And so I post. So I want to wrap up by saying something that I believe even the amazing 2 speakers have said. And this is something I'm using as my watchword right now and moving forward. The right people, when they're in the right room, will not remember your name if you are not visible and they don't know what you do. Remember, our speakers said people need to know you. They don't just need to know you, they need to know you for something specific. So when you're networking, have it at the back of your mind. What do I want to be remembered for? When people hear my name, what comes to their mind? And the only way you will be remembered is when you're consistent, which is built on the backbone of structure. Remember the example I gave, the lady who remembered me from nowhere, who had never liked my post, it was because I was consistent. And so when I was not in the room, she remembered to mention my name. And so I really hope that this very short speech, I would say, or or just teaching leaves somebody not only motivated, but pushed to take the first step. Networking can literally change your life. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Domini, for that wonderful presentation. I'm sure we all enjoyed the session. Because we are really moving behind schedule, we will be moving into the fourth speaker right away. So we are going to be having our questions, our live question and answer after the fourth speaker finish speaking. So our final speaker for today is Yuneli Gutierrez, who will be speaking on the topic Give to Gain, Positioning Yourself for Premium Opportunities. So Yuneli is a project leadership strategist and career mentor dedicated to helping professionals position themselves for high impact opportunities. Through our coaching and training program, she equips professionals with the clarity, strategy, and career positioning needed to thrive in competitive environments. By day, she leads mission critical cybersecurity program at Palo Alto Network, specializing in high visibility red to green turnarounds where the cost of failure is measured in eight figures. Passionate about elevating the next generation of project leaders, Unely equips professionals with the skill of executive translation, bridging the gap between technical execution and measurable business impact. So join me in welcoming Unely Gutierrez. Unely, can you hear me? The floor is yours.
Yes, can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. And good thing that you guys kept me last because I don't usually talk too much. I'm pretty short with my words, so this is perfect. So I just want to say that I am at where I'm at today because I decided to adopt the specific mindset, which is having the audacity of an average man. So, as you said, I currently work in cybersecurity, but I have zero technical background. I studied sociology. And all throughout my 20s, I worked minimum wage jobs from being a server to veterinary technician. And then right before I pivoted into project management, my last job was essentially a manager for a graduate department in higher education. What I also had was the observation that men with half of my qualifications were applying for roles that they weren't ready for and that they were getting them. So in my first IT role, I was a project coordinator, but the work that I was doing was more at the level of a project manager. I was managing project cycles, managing the budget, managing stakeholders, and even reporting all the way up to C-level executives. But I realized that if I continued to keep my title on LinkedIn as project coordinator, that people would continue to treat me like an assistant. So what did I do? I just changed my title on LinkedIn. And through that, I basically positioned myself based on the work that I was doing and not on a label that HR gave me. And this is something that I learned through previous career coaching. So, as long as you can back it up with real life examples, go ahead and change your title. And I also get pushback too from people saying, oh, I can't change my title. What happens if I get offered the job and they do the verification? I've been through that process multiple times where I have positioned myself using a higher title. Again, remembering that I can actually back it up with real life examples. And when I go through the verification process, it never has been an issue. So again, recruiters and hiring managers truly don't mind as long as you can back it up with real life examples. And through that, changing my title is exactly what led me through getting an IT project manager role at Raytheon Technologies. At Raytheon, I was working on really big projects. And so, again, through the career coaching that I did, I learned about creating case study slides. And so I put together a one-pager on, PowerPoint that summarized the complexity and scope of the projects that I was working on. In fact, you can find one of them still on my LinkedIn today in the project section of my profile. And through this, I started to basically show my competence on LinkedIn, right? Because as you've heard all day today, people don't know about the good work that you're doing unless you take ownership of that and start to publicize that widely and having the confidence and the audacity to do that. I also started sharing about my project management journey on LinkedIn. From posting consistently the last 2 years, I've successfully positioned myself as a leader who actively solves problems. And through that visibility, I've created a perception of authority that my years of experience doesn't match up to. Some of you may know I have a story where I was previously told by a manager at Raytheon, not the best manager, but a man, coincidentally, said that I wasn't ready for a senior level project manager role because I didn't have 12 years of experience. And I was just like, no, that's not for me. I'm going to go somewhere else that does see me and see the great work that I'm doing and give me that title. And that actually came through an opportunity through LinkedIn, again, because of my visibility, because I positioned myself, an opportunity for a senior project manager role at Palo Alto Networks, which is one of the largest cybersecurity companies. I also want to mention that a lot of people see contract employment as a risk. However, I saw it as an opportunity to get my foot in the door and work at one of the top cybersecurity companies. So if you're one of those people too that kind of objects against contract opportunities, I would highly suggest that you reconsider that. Last August to October, one of the customer accounts that I was assigned to, there was a senior program manager transition off the account. So the internal Palo Alto senior program manager was transitioning off the account and going to a different one. And so what that left was a gap. And with my supervision, my supervisor's permission and encouragement, I stepped into that gap. Okay. And I operated at the higher level. I worked really hard. I gathered the kudos that I was getting from stakeholders and I documented everything. Then I did it again. If you go to my LinkedIn profile, you'll see that I have positioned myself as a senior program manager. I do not have that internal title yet, but I have the evidence and I can actually back it up. I also do want to mention that every time I do this, my stomach turns. I'm just like every single one of you. I also experience imposter syndrome. But I want you to realize that imposter syndrome is a liar. When you do feel those questions like, who do you think you are? And that voice creeping in, go back to the data. So personally, I use Gen AI all the time. I used to be a Chat GPT girly. Now I'm a Gemini girly. And whenever I'm feeling those moments of doubts, I just will regurgitate all the facts of my projects, the complexity that I'm working on, the stakeholder management situations that I've been in, what I did about it, and I just put it all in the chat. And AI, which by the way, doesn't have a bias and doesn't care about my feelings, it actually can analyze what you've input. And then it comes back and it confirms that I am operating at a senior program manager, and it's a reality check. So it turns that audacity into accuracy. And I'll close today with saying that right now, I will be honest, I'm eyeing Google. I would love to work at Google one day, but I'm not waiting for a recruiter to stumble across me. What I'm doing is I'm making myself impossible to ignore through online visibility. So my advice to you this month is simple. Stop waiting for your company to validate your level. Look at your daily output. If you're doing the work of the level above you, change your positioning to match that reality. The average man wouldn't think twice about it, and neither should you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yuneli. Thank you so much. This is powerful. It is short, but yet so powerful. I see someone that just typed in powerful. Yeah, that's the word. It's really, really powerful. So, ladies, we've now heard from all of our amazing speakers today, and it has really, really been an inspiring and insightful session. So, because we are really, really moving behind time, we will quickly move into a short moderated discussion session with all of our speakers, where I'm going to be asking them a few questions so we can hear from them and we can move on from there. So my first set of questions is going to be directed to Tumini. Tumini, please, can you still hear us? Are you still here with us?
Yes, I am.
Thank you so much. So my first question goes, how can women collaborate without feeling threatened?
This is a very, very good question. How can we collaborate without feeling threatened? If I'm to be honest, I don't know if you can eliminate that. I think with women, we just have this thing where we want to compete. And so I would answer it by giving a rhetoric question is, who are you collaborating with? Right? I don't know how many of us are Christians here, but I'm a Christian, and the Bible says that can two work together unless they agree? So who are you collaborating with? If you're trying to collaborate with someone who sees you as a competition or just see or wants to put you down, then you're collaborating with the wrong person. So move away from that person that feels you're a competition, because I feel like iron sharpened iron. When you meet with somebody who shares your similar beliefs, similar mindsets, there will be no difficulty in collaborating and pushing each other up. For example, myself and Yuleni, we met on LinkedIn. I saw her fire. I saw how she would tell you as it is. And I wasted no time. I started engaging in her posts because I genuinely loved everything she stood for. And so if she came up to me and said, "Oh, let's collaborate," and she says jump, I would ask how high, right? Because I don't see her as a threat. I see her as somebody I can learn from. So move away from people that see you as a competition or want to dim your light. Collaborate with people that they will say, here is my shoulder, use it to climb.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So moving to Unili. So you personally, what does premium positioning really mean? What does it really mean? Like, what does it really entail?
I think premium positioning means positioning yourself as the person that solves problems at your companies related to risk or budgetary, instead of continuing to position yourself as just a worker bee, just like everybody else. And that has honestly been the biggest difference for me. If you go to my LinkedIn again, take inspiration. I have really positioned myself as the person that will be assigned to troubled accounts and turn it around and make sure that I'm protecting the bottom line of the company. So that's what I think premium positioning is, basically positioning yourself as the solution to the company's problems. And the problems that they care about, again, is the bottom line, which is money and keeping their customers happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So that's enough from me. So to our audience, do you have any question for any of our amazing speaker? Do we have anyone in the chat currently?
Yes, please ask questions.
Please ask questions. This is your chance to learn from these amazing women. Anyone?
Come on, don't be shy.
Okay, while we are waiting for the audience to ask questions, I'll just move on to Funke. We've heard what premium positioning means from Unili, but to Funke, what does positioning truly require beyond confidence?
Okay, hi. Sorry, just in case you guys hear some noise, I have some people walking in the house for me. So
Okay.
yeah. So your question is, what does positioning truly require beyond
Beyond confidence,
confidence?
yeah.
Positioning basically requires clarity of purpose. Where do you want to see yourself. You need to be pretty clear about that, right? And you need to be visible. You need to be consistent about your positioning. So confidence definitely helps you believe that you belong within this circle, you belong in the room. But positioning means that you are intentional about how you show up, how you show your expertise, right? You need to it's strategic, it's intentional. It's not just something that you just wake up and say, hey, no. So you have clarity of purpose, you position yourself, right? It's like you need to be, just like having certain certifications would open door for you, right? It will open some doors for you as a result of that. So it helps you position yourself. It includes speaking up moments like this, communicating whatever it is you're saying clearly, right? It does help you. Positioning helps with even in terms of building your relationships as well, right? So in many ways, positioning is basically about ensuring that your work, your voice, value, whatever it is you're bringing on the table, it is visible enough to create that opportunity for you. So I want to use one of my very basic one that I like to tell people. When I thought of pivoting into tech, I was core finance, right? But then I just started getting bored and I wanted to do something different. What I did first was, okay, what certifications would open doors for me, right? And I think someone also mentioned it's really not even all about certifications, because sometimes it's just even about experiences that you can gain on the job that would open doors for you. But for me, it was a tough call just switching from core finance to tech. So I decided to just go straight into, getting the required certifications, getting the training. And then I now started ensuring that whatever projects that was happening within my organization, I ensured that I was applying or whatever training I've learned in terms of tech. And I was, it was very easy for me when they tell you, oh, they're doing some ERP implementation. I'm like, yeah. And then my bosses are wondering, what's with this, right? And then I started trying to ensure that I was positioning myself for those opportunities. So by the time it was clear to everyone that yes, she's ready to pivot, it didn't take long for me to just find myself, and those doors started opening and those opportunities just started opening. They'll just ask you, can you do this project? And it was just a yes. And so positioning yourself helps you with that visibility, right? That would then create those opportunities for you.
Right, thank you so much. So we have some couple of questions in the chat, and I'm going to be reading down. Please, can we please keep, I know we want to share our experience deeply with our audience, but we are really, really behind time. So I would like us to please keep it short, so that we can go all over the questions that we have currently. So this question is from Jasprit, and it is to Mini. Many people attend networking events, but struggle to convert connections into real collaborations. What has worked for you in turning conversations into partnerships?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. In short, authenticity, being myself. When I connect with somebody, I don't put an image that I think they want to see. I let them know this is who I am, this is the value I have to offer, and if you would like to collaborate with me, this is what you're going to get. Once I do this, then I go further to always follow up. If I have, some events that I want to attend and I know that this person is within my city, I extend that invitation to them. That way we move from just probably meeting one time to meeting twice to meeting 3 times. So, by the time we become familiar with our faces, we turn out being friends. I've used this for quite a number of people that I've met on LinkedIn. And right now, these are, I would call them my close friends. We've visited each other. We've done things, we've partnered together. So I would say be authentic and also follow up and genuinely, just care about wanting to build a relationship with that person.
All right, thank you so much, Jasprit. I hope you got your answer to your question. So this is to Yuneli and also to Tumini again. What are some of the affirmations you speak to yourself to show up each day with confidence?
Tumini, do you want to go first?
No, you can go first.
Okay. So I actually don't do affirmations like I used to. There was a point in time, especially right before I did my pivot into project management. I don't like to talk about this too much, but I was severely overweight at the time. This was back in 2020. Severely depressed, severely overweight. That's when I was working in higher ed. And there was a point in time where I had like 10 affirmations and I said, they're very specific to you, right? So, like, in my case, I'm beautiful, I'm competent, I'm intelligent, things like that. And I would read that every morning and every night. I don't really do that so much anymore. So that's my answer, but I think it's very specific to you and what your struggles are, and then writing the opposite of that in a positive way.
Mhm. Exactly. Yeah. So for me, I just the same. I don't really do affirmations like say, oh, I'm beautiful, I'm great. I would pick back to what I said. I'm a child of God, so the word of God is my anchor. I use the word to remind me of who I am and what God has put inside of me. But aside from that, I remind myself that if I don't do this, my stomach will be empty, right? Every bills need to get paid, right? So I think that's, I would say my biggest motivation back to my why. Why am I doing this? Because I need to put food on my table. That's simple.
All right, thank you so much. So we have another question from Elizabeth. She said, it's easy to advise and know about audacity. What does that look like practically? Sometimes saying yes to opportunities too early may be detrimental. I think I would like Kamal to take that question.
Yeah, thank you. No, I think that's a very good question. So I myself believe in like I'm very focused person. So I do not like any opportunity that come my way if that does not align with my long-term goals or if does not align with my passion. I would straight away do not apply or say no, right? But if that's something which is aligned to my long-term goal, even if I am scared about it, I'll say, okay, let's try it. Let's give it a try, right? I would take that step, but I keep myself focused no matter if the opportunity seems to be very very tempting to apply. Okay, it's a very good salary or whatever it is, but if it does not align with your long-term goal, I do not dilute my path. That's it. I keep my focus on the prize that is for me on my path rather than on diverting and then, rerouting myself to where I want to be. So I would yes, don't say yes to any opportunity that comes your way. Like review it and see if it aligns to your long-term goal or not. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. So we have another question from Carmen. She said, what did you do when you did not have clarity around defining your brand and value? What questions did you ask? What question did you ask yourself? What exercises did you do? I think I'm going to start with you, Nelly, and then to Mimi.
Yeah, I was just in the process of typing back to that one. So I actually didn't start with like an exercise. What I have done is each time throughout each project management role I've had, what I'm really good at is self-reflecting. Okay, what are the things that are happening at work? What are the situations that I'm working through? What am I struggling with? What are situations that I am showing up in a strong version of myself? And then, guys, I really use AI all the time. Like it's probably a little psychotic. Like I will literally just have a conversation with AI and I will ask it because again, it's like an objective mirror, right? So I ask it, what does this tell me about my project management style? What does this tell me about blah blah blah? So because sometimes it's kind of hard to read the label of ourselves and like describe yourself. It's kind of hard, just like you're inside of a prescription bottle. It's kind of hard to read the label if you're on the inside versus other people can kind of read it easily. And that's where you can use tools like AI. So I never really from the beginning started with an exercise. I've just, each time I go through something at work, I reflect on it and then I start to mold and change my branding. And those of you who have followed, you've seen the evolution of my branding over time, and it's constantly evolving.
Thank you so much. So, Tumini, do you want to add anything to that?
Yes, I would say for me, in the beginning, when I didn't have clarity, I honestly didn't ask questions. I took action, right? Every time I took action, I got clarity. For every time I posted about transitioning to project management or my relocation or moving, it helped me ask those questions. And so when I see people interact with my posts, and then I start asking myself, what do I want to be known for? Who are my audience? The people that are commenting, are these the right people that I want to speak to? So I would always say, in the midst of, confusion, take that step, because when you take a step, it becomes clearer if this is the path that you should take or not.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you. So this is going to be our final question, and I'm going to be throwing this to all of our speakers. So in one sentence, what should women give this year to gain growth? We're going to start with the way we speak, from Kamal Prince to Funke to Somini and to Unili. So Kamal Prince, can we please have you first? In one sentence, what should women give this year to gain growth?
I think stop self-doubting yourself. Do not criticize yourself. Have that confidence. Like, I am a big on saying, like, fight your fears and you can like move mountains. That's the only thing I would say. So take that action that you have been thinking about for long. Do it. Do it now. That's the right time. Do not wait for to be 100% ready. The right time is today. Take action.
Thank you. Okay, can we have you?
Okay. In one sentence, what should we do to gain growth this year? I would say intentionally position yourself. Be strategic about it. Don't be afraid. Sometimes it may seem like these people I'm talking to, what do they think about me? Don't care about what they think about you. Sometimes some people are just actually waiting for you to come to them, to open up. I'm not saying be totally vulnerable and say, oh, I don't know this. And, it's a symbiotic relationship. They can see you, they can see that you need help. They can see that you need that little push. So just intentionally position yourself. Don't just be confident and capable, be seen, be heard, be influential in your place of work, in your businesses, wherever decisions are made, you need to be seen there. I challenge you this week on your team's chat at work. When they send messages like that, be okay to respond, even when directors are there, right? That's one thing I'm also trying to help myself do now, right? I'm not afraid to answer questions, and I'm not afraid to even get it wrong and then be corrected. But, step out of that comfort zone, right? Like Tumini said, discomfort is, can't recall what you said, but that stuck to me anyway. I love that discomfort thing. I wrote it down somewhere, right? If you're too comfortable, you're not growing. Right. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sumini?
Okay, so one thing I would say that you can do this year for you to grow is surround yourself with the right people. Find the right set of people who would speak life into you. Just like Kamala said when she started, and the manager told her, you are operating below what you're supposed to be doing. Immerse yourself in with the right set of people. That's the biggest, advice I would give anyone, because the right set of people would push you. Even when you doubt yourself, they would whisper and say you're doing great. Even when you don't want to be in that room, they would mention your name in that room. So it doesn't matter if you've known somebody for a long time, you can outgrow relationships to get to where you need to be, right? Don't be sentimental when it comes to your growth. Meet new people. Look at them. Would they help me get to where I need to be? And then absorb them.
Right, thank you so much. So now we move to you, Nelly.
Okay. So mine was also going to be positioning like Funky, but since she said that, I encourage you all to take care of yourself financially. And what I mean by that is save money for a rainy day, right? Because when you have savings to rely on, you show up to work with a little bit more audacity, right? If you are so dependent on a job to pay your bills to survive and you're not saving and you're in high credit card debt and you're just shopping and all this and just going out with your girlfriends all the time and you don't have anything, you're dependent on your job, right? So you can't have that audacity that you need to say, no, this isn't right. This is what I think we should do as a project manager. So that's what I say. Please take care of yourself financially, save money for a rainy day, make good financial decisions.
Thank you so much. So we are currently at the last session of our program today, and we will be having Dr. Grace Oluwadebi to give us a little bit of commitment and official close. So everyone, meet Dr. Grace. She is the founder of Success Waymarks Foundation. She's a geoscientist and project management professional with over 15 years of combined academic and industry experience. Dr. Grace Oluwadebi's academic career includes serving as a lecturer at Osun State University, Nigeria, and as a researcher at the University of Manchester, UK. She has built strong industry experience working as geoenvironmental consultant at UA Antia in the United Kingdom and as a project consultant at KPMG Canada, where she managed complex and high impact projects. A passionate advocate for STEM education, Dr. Oluwadebi has mentored over 5,000 students across Africa and continues to inspire and support the next generation of scientists and innovators in Canada. She's also deeply committed to women's empowerment, championing initiatives that promote education, leadership, and opportunities for women and girls. She is one of our co-hosts that brings us all together for this amazing session. So please welcome Dr. Grace with a virtual round of applause.
Thank you so much, Rafia. Thank you, everyone. Yeah, wow, this is amazing. This is so great. Yeah, like someone said, powerful. I would say this is really a powerful moment together. I just want us to drop in the chat if you have gained something today. Probably you've gained what you plan to give out as well. If it's mentorship, it's collaboration. I just want to see it in the chat before we close quickly. Let's drop that in the chat, what you have planned today or what the step you're going to take after this event. Just, okay. Can I see some chat there? Anything coming in? All right, I can see collaboration, mentorship. Someone said, I'm going to give that. I'm going to give mentorship. So powerful section today. Positioning. Thank you. Thank you so much. We've gone beyond our time, so I don't really want to keep us waiting. Just to give us some recap, and I don't even want to give recap again because we've learned a lot, and I believe all of us, we have one jotting or the other. So, but I just want to remind us that we should connect with the speakers and the host on LinkedIn. We also need to at least 2 people, connect with 2 people on this chat today. Look at the names as we are still on the call. Oh, this person's name, I've not seen it before. Even for myself, there are a couple of people I've noted that I'm going to reach out to them on LinkedIn or on Facebook or somewhere. You can also get to follow. It's a small world today. You can see anyone on the social media when you type the name. So take that conscious effort to put somebody's name, at least 2, that from this meeting you connected with this individual, and we're going to see the result. So also we want to say thank you very much to our speakers. Yeah, Yoneli, Tumini, Funke, and Kama. You know, it's all about collaboration. All of these invited speakers, I didn't even Abiola, that we are co-hosts. It's all about networking, collaboration, maybe meeting in one event or the other. And most people were on LinkedIn. So, and today it's the relationship is building. Some of them we have been like sisters, we have been like relatives. So I don't have more time at this moment to really say the importance of networking and how we can help each other to grow together. So it's very important that we stay connected. And like all the speakers have said, it should be intentional. So it's not one thing, it's not one of that you just say hi on LinkedIn and you forget about it. So you have to proactively say, oh, I want to have a relationship with this person. I know what I'm going to get. Like Tumini said, she knows what she was going for, so you are consistent about it. And I'm sure that when we take these steps, we are going to have results. So I want to thank all of them for their time. We gave them, it was a very short notice to invite them to this event, and they all responded out of their time, tight schedule, even on Saturday for that matter, where everybody is busy with your personal life, that is a weekend that you have to do your own personal things, but still coming together. We appreciate you. We really want to say thank you on behalf of the host and the board of directors of Waymarks Foundation. We say thank you so much. We thank our moderator also, Rafiat. You have done a very great and wonderful work today. So please, if you need any MC for your occasion, reach out to Rafiat, reach out to Tumini. She's for live moderation of your event. And also, I want to thank everyone for your time. If you're not here, we will be speaking to ourselves alone. So for you to log in from different parts of the world, I saw registration from Malaysia. Someone is even online at this point from India. And this is about 2 a.m. in India. So it means a lot to us. We really want to say thank you for your time. And I'm sure that you've learned something. What you have gained today, we're going to see the impact. And that is why we want you to stay connected and also continue to tag about this program after this event. So follow the speakers on their LinkedIn. If you really want to have any further chat or discussion after this meeting, they are open to that. I know some of my friends are joined. They are new in Canada. Some are still finding their footing. They are way to stand. So you can connect with any of these ones. They can show you the way. This is how I did it. You follow the steps also, and you have your result. So we have to be intentional about that, and you have to implement one action this week. What am I going to do this particular week? We have mentioned it before, but I'm just trying to remind us about all these that we need to take action after this. Tag the event, Give to Gain Summit, tag it on LinkedIn, and we also follow through. So I want to say thank you. We do a lot on in Waymarks Foundation. This is just one of our events. We are passionate about STEM activities for females. So we also help students also in their homework club, after school club. We are into all these, supporting young and new immigrants, women to get into their right career, and how in any way we can support them. So these are vision, these are passion, and we are all there on LinkedIn, also on Facebook. I'm going to drop the links here also when before we close the meeting. So I really want to say thank you to everyone, and above all, I want to thank God for the privilege He has given us to be here, because if any of us is on sick bed, we won't be able to be sitting here to have this discussion. So we are grateful for life. And we hope to see you next year. It's going to be better than this. We're still going to have the live one on virtual, but we hope to bring women in Winnipeg together. We hope to do that. We see the possibility of it happen by the grace of God. So I want to say thank you to everyone. And wherever you are, I want you to come on camera so that we can have a quick picture. If you're okay with that, you can please come on camera. So Biola will take a quick snapshot of that, and we can all celebrate together. You celebrate yourself. You're women of value, women of purpose. So celebrate yourself.
Thank you so very much.
For a quick picture.
Yeah, please, if you are comfortable to come on camera, that would be fine. For a quick, and you can say wherever you are with smile, happy International Women Day. It's tomorrow, but we are celebrating our head today. And also we appreciate men on the group, on the call as well. Probably our supporters. We appreciate some of our men or male on the call. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. That's amazing. We're happy to have you on this call, and I'm sure what we have learned will stay, and it's going to bring results. It's going to bring results. Thank you, everyone. Abiola, do you have any other thing to say?
No, we are over time now.
We are over time.
Having
Thank you so much.
with putting everybody, I don't know if anybody is able to that. I was trying to like have everybody together on the screen, but I can't figure this out.
All right.
Does
Yeah, I
anybody
have done that.
know?
Yeah, I've taken that.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Did you
I
take it while I was still speaking? Did I look good?
Everyone is looking charming, looking good, looking great. Yeah, we're gonna send
right,
it. We're
thank
gonna
you.
send the clip, also the recording via the emails that where you register through. So if you need anything, any recap to listen to again, you're going to have that. And please, like I said, I'm connecting with 2 people as well. Let me take note of the name. Anyway, I'm in charge of it, so I can easily go back to connect to as many as I want to connect with. Thank you very much. We appreciate the time of everyone. I think at this point, we bring the meeting to end. Thank you, our speakers. Thank you, everyone. Amazing ladies. We love you. Oh, we love you. We love you. You're all
Happy
amazing.
International
You're all
Women's
you.
Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day,
Enjoy
everyone.
the rest of your weekend.
All right, see you all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Love
Bye,
you,
everyone.
ladies. Bye.